Hi, today I want to show you how I created this Belgian Mortal Kombat video. I also created a blog post that has all of the necessary assets and a step-by-step guide on how to create this, but today I also wanted to go through it and show you all how it is done, how it's created. The workflow is actually pretty easy, at least to create a character. To put it all together maybe requires a little bit more skills, but I'm going to give you all of the assets to hopefully make that a whole lot easier for all of you. Okay, so let's just get started and I'll show you how this is done. So the first thing you want to do is choose a character or a list of characters that you want to create, that you want to pit off against each other. I suggest that it's a fun category of characters that I don't know, have something special about them. If it's characters without any recognizable assets, it's going to be more difficult for your audience to know who they are. So here you can see that I chose for things like, man with a large hat. This is a saxophone player, and this guy has an apple in front of his face. It's a famous painting by Marguerite. Jean-Claude Van Damme, muscly guy. Even though their facial features aren't necessarily very recognizable, I would say that just because they have that attribute, that weapon, it's very easy to now know who they are. Okay, anyway, without further ado, you know who you're going to pick, who your category is. Let's create one of these characters. The first thing that I'm going to want to do is, find a photo of my character. Let's pick, I already chose here for Georges Lemaitre, inventor of the Big Bang Theory. He's Belgian, he's a priest, so he has that recognizable attribute of that little white board above, right there. Also, his round glasses will help. I can, put stuff in the backgrounds that remind us of the universe, of the Big Bang. A whole lot of things that we can do with this particular character. First thing that I'm going to do is, just pick and save a photo right here. Maybe this one, because it's in color. Let's save this particular image right here. Okay. Next up, what I'm going to want to do is also find a Mortal Kombat character that I want him to look like. So I'm going to look for Mortal Kombat characters. So here I looked for Mortal Kombat character art. Let's pick a tool. I'm going to go for a Creative Commons license, so I don't want to infringe upon copyright too much. Let's see who is this person. Looks perfect. It looks like it's coming from Wikipedia Commons. Let's save this image. Oh, by the way, if you want to look for these type of people, then so just go to tools here in Google and then filter by the Creative Commons licenses. That makes sure that all the images that you use don't have any copyright on them. Creative Commons doesn't necessarily mean that you can use it in a commercial context, though. Even, we are still using Mortal Kombat, which is, of course, a copyrightable game, so none of this is truly above board. Still, it's better to be on the safe side for these types of things. So, Creative Commons image. First thing that I want to do, go to chatgpt.com. And I'm going to upload this image of my fighter right here. Let's take them. And there we go. I am going to pick, I'm going to ask, describe this image as if it was created. This is a really great way of using the vision technology of ChatGPT. So I'm going to describe it as if it was created by a prompt, effectively reverse engineering the photo. So let's do that and see what we get. I'm going to use this prompt to then create the character in Midjourney. So while it's doing that, I'm also already going to open midjourney.com. I'm not going to do it through Discord. That would be usually the way I still prefer to do it, but for the sake of things, let's just use this. In Midjourney, I'm going to want to use this prompt. These are previous creations, as you can see. And I'm going to add an image. The image that I'm going to add is, of course, the one that we just chose. This one? No, I mean the one from Georges Lemaitre. So I'm going to add an image here that is apparently didn't really appear anywhere. Let's try that again. One second, let's see what just happened. I think the reason is because I already uploaded. It's right here. So I'm going to use this image as a character reference. You can see here, this is the character reference, so I can put this person right here, and now I've used this as a character reference. Then I'm going to take my mythical warrior description. So I have a mythical warrior stands at the center radiating power and so forth. His hands are held together. And then we have some background description. And right here it is. Behind him is an immense circular flame forming an abstract dragon shape against the scenic background. We're not going to need any of this. So all that I'm going to copy is this stuff right here about the character. Maybe I want to add some stuff to it too. I'm going to say a Mortal Kombat mystical warrior, you know, just to hit that point home that it is in fact Mortal Kombat that we're talking about here. Radiant power depicts with golden eyes and long hair tied back. And the background that we are going to want to use is always this fiery ember background. That just, as you go between the characters, you don't want to have 17 different backgrounds. You always want to have something that remains, and that's going to be this background. Fire ember is perfect for Mortal Kombat, so that is what we will use. So I'm going to write fire. Wait, I'm going to say black fire ember background. That's perfect. Let's see what we get if we input something like this. Now, what we might get here is that the priest aspect and the clothing and the rest of this image is going to be, you know, it's going to influence maybe the image a little bit too much, and we're not going to have enough of our prompt in there. Other image generators will have like a strength of our prompt and our image. We don't have that here with Midjourney, at least right here. But it does seem pretty good what it is that we're getting. We're not even getting much priest, but we are definitely recognizing this character right here. Let's see. I think what we are getting is a little bit of the artwork. The style of the artwork in our original image is definitely coming through if we look at the way that this image was depicted. You know, the almost the painting style of this image. We can see that we get a little bit of that in the image here. If we don't want that, then maybe we should go back and find a more photorealistic representation. Since this is a video game, I don't really mind it, so we can just go ahead and use this. But which one is the best one? Here, this orb is a little bit small, but in the video we could make it grow, so that doesn't really matter. He looks a lot more evil here. I like his eyes in this one the most. This one is also pretty good, shows it clearly. They're all amazing, if you ask me. Maybe this one really works well. I'm going to go for this one, and I'm going to try and make the orb glow. So what I want to do here is I want to upscale this image. And I'm going to subtly upscale it, so just to make it larger, to get a little bit more detail in there. So on Midjourney I can upscale the images. By the way, I would suggest you use Midjourney because it just has a better fantasy kind of feel than all of the other ones that are out there right now. So definitely Midjourney would be my preferred image generator for something like this. If you want to go really photorealistic, then perhaps you want to go with Flux. If you really want, to mix your images very well, then I would go with ChatGPT. But here, Midjourney, I think, still does the best job. Okay, so we have created our image right here. I'm already going to open Replicate, so I'm going to use Kling. Kling is an image generator. I'm going to just open the site to give you a feel of what Kling can do. So we can start by using an image and then animate that image. Kling AI has delivered some amazing results in their professional mode. As you can see here, this is the stuff that they can already do nowadays. For Kling you would need a subscription, but you can also access it through the API with Replicate. So that means that we can create on a per video basis. We can also just pay Kling through Replicate, but you can also use a whole bunch of other AI tools in Replicate, so I would definitely recommend that one. If you want to look for Kling, you can do that right here by typing in Kling after you've set up your billing account. And then I would go for the Pro modes right here. Let's do this. Let's go for the Pro mode. This is just an example here. What we are going to do is we are going to take the image that we just created, this one, and I'm going to download it. Upscaled image, there we go. I'm going to change the prompt here, and the image that I just chosen, I am going to take this one and put it there. If it works, there we go. So here we have our Georges Lemaitre, and I'm going to prompt here. For the prompt in the videos, I suggest making it using easy vocabulary, so nothing like a fierce warrior, but I'm just going to say evil man. It just, when it comes to video prompting, it's not really up to the standards of image prompting. You will see that the prompt adherence isn't as high as in image prompting, so you can't give it a whole lot of details. 1 or 2 sentences is usually good when we're already starting off from an image. So let's see what we can do. So I'm going to go with evil man holding growing fire orb with evil eyes. Let's also try and get some movement into the eyes by describing them. I want to hopefully also animate the background, so I'm going to write fiery background. Oh, not fury, fire. Let's just write fire background, make it fire background. And then lastly, another thing you want to do is go static camera. You want to make sure that the camera doesn't start moving too much, otherwise you quickly get like some rotation or some zoom. Suddenly there's pans and movements. You want 0 movement, so static camera is what we're going to want here. So evil man holding growing fire orb with evil eyes, fire background, static camera. The aspect ratio is 16:9, which is perfect. I didn't say that before, but with me it's already on 16:9 here. You definitely want to make sure that it is on this particular aspect ratio, so that we get an image in the same sense as where you would play a video game on a screen. I'm not going to use any of the other options here, just not touching it, doesn't need it. You have more options when you take a subscription to Kling. So I'm just gonna let this roll for a little while, and in the meantime I'll explain to you how the Premiere Pro file is created. Cancel this for a second. Here we can see the Premiere profile. So every time we have a character, and then I get a small fade. Just zoom in on this. So I have my character. The only things that move is the name here. So I need the name on top, so that's going to change every time. Then the player select button, I'm just going to move that from position every time. This is on hold, but this is my character select, so that is also just a separate element that I've created right here in Photoshop. Let me show you how I did that. And then the entire video right here. So then we have the sounds tracks, which is the backgrounds track, and then of course the voice saying the names every time, the evil voice, John Marie Fav. So those are the different elements that are in this video. I'm going to give you the player select, so it's easy to go over it every time. And then in Photoshop, I'm also going to just give you the Photoshop file so you can use that. It opened on the wrong screen. Let me just fix this. Let's go to Belgian Mortal Kombat. Let's go. Switch off the entire this view for a second. What else is still on here? Oh, there we go. So this is nothing more than just masked images. So these are just image masks, as you can see. So you just create the still that you created in Midjourney. We can put this Midjourney image inside of this. So I'm going to go to my Midjourney image right here. Let's just make it easy for now and just copy it right here. Make it a little bit smaller too. And then, so I am going to take this image right here, and I am just simply going to remove one of the ones that I have. Let's take Erik van Looy, just remove him right there, and then take my Georges Lemaitre, take him and then just drag him into the frame here. Just gonna move him a little bit. There we go. Make it a little bit smaller so you see him a bit better. Making him about the same size as all of the other ones that are in here. And there we go. We would have him inside of our player selection screen. What I would do is just, export this entire screen on the same size, 16:9 landscape dimension, so it's easy to use it inside of Premiere. And then go to Premiere and then just layer the player selection above it. And the player selection is fairly easily, like I said, I'm going to give it to you, but just, for good measure. It's just a thing that flips on and off. Just a new sequence that I created within Premiere that you can use. Okay, let's just have a look at our video and see whether it's done yet. Oh, it is done yet. He's even talking a little bit. Okay, so there you have it. I'm saving this video. Let's make it Georges Lemaitre alternative. There we go. It looks pretty amazing, doesn't he? I like how the fire burns behind him. The orb is in fact glowing. He looks evil. There we go. So go back to Premiere let's take my existing Georges Lemaitre, which is somewhere here. Delete that. Take my new Georges Lemaitre. Whoop. First, need a second to find where I saved my current Georges Lemaitre. Where did I save this? Save video as... oh, there we go. Let's just save it here. Then go to my Georges Lemaitre, drag it into my sequence. I'm not an expert in Premiere. Some people are probably thinking, ah, what is he doing? Can be done so much more easily. I mean, never said I was a Premiere expert. There we go. He is definitely in there. Oh, but he's not showing up. Oh, I see what I did there. I made a mistake here. I deleted the name of Georges Lemaitre instead of the video of Georges Lemaitre. What a mistake to make. There he is. That's the one that I need to delete. And now he's in there. There we go. I could change the image here to the way that I just showed you, to do that in Photoshop. Put a new image there. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. We have a new Georges Lemaitre in there. I would also need to change the text. If this is a new character, I also have Photoshop with the text, and the font is also on the website, so you have to download it from an external source, from thefont.com, and you can use this font that just changes as you select each new character. As you can see, the most work is not generating the character, it's mostly the work in Premiere of putting it all together neatly, but that's not that difficult either. It's just like really all of these clips are in the same, are going in this at the same time, so nothing too complicated there either. The only thing that I haven't showed you yet is the sounds. So I originally created them somewhere else, but then I found that somebody already created a Mortal Kombat voice sounding board. So on 101 soundboards you can just type your text that you want to be sounded. You click generate, it's going to make you watch some videos perhaps. Then you have to wait also a minute. You have to put up with 77 different ads popping up all over the place. And then you'll wait and your sound effect will show here, and you just download that one as well. I think in order to download it, maybe you have to create a new account, or here we go, watch more ads, and then you get a reward, which is, you know, the actual sounds that you get. It's annoying, but pretty easy. And now we can just press download, and then there we go. There we go, from soundboards. And then we just import the sounds in Premiere as well. I'm not going to give an entire Premiere breakdown. I think there's enough ways to learn how to work with Premiere that I don't have to give an entire breakdown there. For me, it was just about showing you how to set it up. So on my website, leadmeanlearningmachine.com, which looks like, whoops, which looks like this. You will be able to find all of the information right there. I will put up a blog post you could be able to find under blogs that once again details each and every step, gives more information about prompting each different character, what to do if you don't have a photo, just a lot more information, a lot more detailed information out there too. Okay, I think that sums it up. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you can now create your own Mortal Kombat videos with whatever subject that you like. Thanks, bye.